Hello everyone, it's Al Nigrin, Executive Director and Curator of the New Jersey Film Festival, back with another filmmaker interview for you. The New Jersey Film Festival Spring 2020 installment will be taking place on select Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings between Saturday, January 25th through Friday, February 28th. There'll be over 40 screenings, short ones, long ones, documentaries, experimental, feature films. All of them are premiere screenings. They have not played in our state. They're getting their debut. There are two film screenings which that does not hold true to. They're the two free film screenings that are sponsored by the Confucius Institute at Rutgers University that will be on February 21st and 28th. If you want to get more information about our festival, go to our website, which is www.njfilmfest.com. Today, we have the makers of the wonderful short film called For Hope. We have James Rees, the director, as well as Jay Thomas, actor and producer of the film. And I want to welcome you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Tell us, I don't know, Jay, how did you get involved in making this film? This is your baby?
Yeah, I wrote this kind of after a friend of mine passed away from an opioid overdose, which is a pretty common story where I'm from in the South, especially in Appalachia. And I really wanted to focus on who he was as a person and his relationships with people and how different he was when he was around people he loved. And so this really came out of that.
So your film is shot in Kentucky?
Yeah.
And was it shot in your hometown or in your general area?
Sort of. It was shot about 45 minutes away from my hometown, but my family was a big part of it. My aunts helped cook every meal. My mom was there every day.
Very cool. And that's what I loved about the film. It really has this kind of organic, you know, homemade feel. But, you know, it's a wonderful film. And James, tell us how you got involved in making the film, too.
It's kind of a crazy story, actually. I was directing a play. I got asked to direct a play that Jay was in. I ended up backing out. That juice wasn't worth the squeeze, and I'll leave it at that. But Jay and I, in the few rehearsals that I was there, I got an email from him afterwards, and he was like, I'm really sad that I'm not going to get to work with you. I could tell that you kind of knew what you were doing, and I noticed in his signature that he was a writer. And so I wrote back and I was like, if you ever have any scripts, I'd love to look at them. And he came right back with the script that he had written that was for Hope. And then we met for lunch and I tried to, you know, act smart, and he believed my lie.
And the chemistry was there between you two guys.
For sure.
And, you know, I think the loving aspect behind the film, I mean, it focuses on an autistic young girl whose name is Hope. And she's being taken care of by her brother. And you play the brother magnificently.
Thank you.
And Sissy Sheridan plays for Hope, and she's really great too.
Wonderful.
How did you find her?
Well, we did like a big backstage playbill search, and we fielded tapes from local hires and DC, New York, wherever. We got a bunch of tapes, and Sissy's was the best by a long shot. We interviewed a couple of kids, but Sissy was the best. So
so tell us about the story, though. I mean, she's being taken care of by her brother.
Yeah, so it's her and her brother's trying to make ends meet. They live in a trailer home in Kentucky, and he works as a waiter, and he's trying to make ends meet. And at the end of the day, he kind of resorts to an easier method. He resorts to selling drugs, and a deal backfires, and you know, mayhem ensues. The best laid plans, right? You know, that idea of bad decisions often come out of good intentions. And at the end of the day, that's what I wanted to see in the film, was this idea that bad decisions don't always happen because you have malice. People don't do things often. People are inherently good, and they try to do things for a good reason, and when they're surrounded by the right people, they do have good intentions, but sometimes life goes the other way.
And I think also it's a class film in certain ways too, right? I mean, there is no tolerance for those that don't have money. The middle class or the upper class look down at those people. I think that's in your film as well.
What's this cycle of once you make one wrong decision, you have to continue to make wrong decisions to get yourself out of it, and you can't.
Yeah.
And it is a spiral. I mean, like drug addiction.
Yeah. Tell us about the score. I mean, to me, I was knocked out. I want a copy of that CD. I mean, it's so
for
wonderful.
Sure. Go ahead.
So if you're interested, Robert Gowan from Other Southern, who is a music composer out of Greenville, I was randomly at a party. This is how it all works,
It's
right?
okay.
I was at a party with some friends of mine in Asheville, North Carolina, and he was there, and I was like, oh, just talking about the film, and I was like, I'm really interested in kind of like string instruments, kind of telling the story. I'd love someone who like inherently plays the banjo or the violin, and he goes, I play all those instruments.
Cool.
And we kind of hooked up, and we did a few rounds, and he was incredible to work with.
Yeah, you hear it right from the get-go, the opening scene, and it just kind of sucks you into the film, and it keeps the movement of the film is attributed to the film to the music, if you ask me. Well, that's great. Well, folks, you absolutely have to come and see this film. We're going to be screening it on Sunday, January 26th. That's our opening weekend, and For Hope is the short film that precedes the feature, which is by Trey Manchester. Also from Middle America. This one is set in Indiana, and also focuses on a family that's struggling because of a lack of parental support. And so there is a connection between your two films. You'll see it. And folks, you'll be able to meet these wonderful gentlemen at the screening because they'll be there to do a Q&A. So the program again is Sunday, January 26th at 7 p.m. in Voorhees 105. That's at 71 Hamilton Street on the Rutgers University campus in New Brunswick, New Jersey, a block away from the New Brunswick train station. You want more information, you go to our website, which is njfilmfest.com. Thanks so much for coming, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, on days like this, it's best to scratch everything and do something you never get to do. How's that sound?
You care about that little girl more than anything I've ever cared about in my entire life.
He says love is a word that sounds pretty, but love don't look pretty.